Hello and welcome. We are going to be looking at a handful of problems here that are all dealing with slopes and equations. So let's take a look at our first question here. And it has 4 points. I'm going to color these in 4 different colors. Let's do blue, green, purple, and red. And there's a few things that we notice. One, that one of the points that's going to go on the grid has a mystery value. So the x value we don't know for that point S. And two, the two segments created by pairs of these points are going to be parallel to each other. All right, so now let's kind of take these points, go ahead and plot them on our grid. Our first point, P, is at -8, -2. That means left 8 and down 2. That would be here. So this is our P. Next, we have our Q, and that's at -6 to the left, but 0 up or down. So that's there. That's my Q. And that's one of my segments. Right there, PQ. We could even make that a little bit straighter. There we go. Now let's plot the R point. That's over in the positive areas, so we have a 9 to the right and 2 up. So 9 to the right and 2 up would be here. And that's our R. And now what's curious about our last one is that we know the up or down is -3, so that's going to be down 3, but we don't know exactly where. That means somewhere kind of along these -3 values for y, and it could even be in the middle between some points. It doesn't have to be exactly on the grid, but somewhere along this line where y equals -3, we're going to have an x value. And whatever value we get for that x has to make parallel to what we already have. So we got PQ here. This has a rise over run of 2 over 2. So this slope is 2 over 2. You could rewrite that with any other equivalent version, like 1 over 1, or just the number 1. I'm going to stick with the 1 over 1 positive slope. And what that does for me is I can start kind of tracing towards that red line and see where on the red line am I going to have my mystery x value. So I'm going to take these 1 by 1 steps. And what do you know? There it is. So there is my mystery point, S, and its values for x and y. We already knew that the y was -3, but now we can see that the x was at 4. Now I'm also going to show a way to do this without a graph, where you can do it with like a slope numerical calculation. If we know that the slope after graphing points P and Q was supposed to be 1 over 1, and we know that that slope is supposed to be equal to the slope for the RS segment, which I didn't draw in here, but it would look like this, then we can say that that should have been equal to the subtraction of the y values over the subtraction of the x values, because that is our kind of slope formula. And let's call our R to be our like x1 and y1, and our S to be our like x2 and y2. And let's see what happens. Well, we know that the slope has to equal 1 over 1, and the y2 value is -3, because that's our something -3. And our y1 value was 2. So that's going to be -3 minus 2 there. And let's see what else we have. So that's our y values. -3 minus 2 is 5. And now for our x values, we have a mystery, which we don't know, so I'll still call it x2, and minus our x1, which was 9. Okay, now let's see where this takes us. We have a 1 over 1 equals -3 minus 2 is a -5 over x2 minus 9. And x2 is like this mystery number that we're trying to unravel. This is actually kind of a fraction equals fraction, where each of these groups can become cross products. So I'll have, if I multiply x2 minus 9, that's going to give my x2 minus 9 on the left side. And on the right side, I'll have 1 times -5. And then finally, to try and get this number all by itself, I add 9 to both sides, and I would figure out that x2 equals 4. So whether you did it from a slope calculation, this is like using the formula, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or the graph, either way will get you there. You just need to have some sort of evidence that shows how you found your actual answer. Now, if you're doing the digital version of this test, you do need to say that x equals 4. That's kind of the correct answer that we type into the computer, and this is the accompanying work that goes with it. All right, and we're going to do each of these videos kind of separate, but that's the end of the first one.